Hello all, myself Chaitra R, studying in second year MCA at MIT Mysore. Today I am going to give a seminar on the topic called Trait Approaches to Leadership from the subject Professional Communication and Report Writing. The topics covered in this seminar are Introduction about Trait Approaches to Leadership, Trait Theory of Leadership, Leadership Traits, Strengths or Advantages of Trait Theory, Problems and Limitations of Trait Approach to Leadership, recent research on Trait Approach to Leadership, and finally the conclusion. To start with the introduction, the Trait Approaches to Leadership is one of the earliest theories of leadership. Although it is not a fully articulated theory with well-developed hypothesis, the trait approach formed the basis of most early leadership research. The notable theorists of the trait approaches to leadership are Thomas Carlyle and Francis Galton. This approach focuses on the personal attributes of traits of leaders such as physical and personality characteristics, competencies, etc. It views leadership solely from the perspective of the individual leader. The theorist Thomas Galton hypothesized two important notions with regards to leadership. They are that it's a unique ability possessed by certain extraordinary individuals and their opinions and decisions are capable of bringing out radical changes. The next point is these unique attributes are part of their genetic makeup. Therefore, leadership is hereditary. Next is Trait Theory of Leadership. The trait model of leadership is based on the characteristics of both successful and unsuccessful leaders, and this is used to predict the leadership effectiveness. And this approach attempted to identify physiological, that is appearance, height and weight, demographic, that means age, education and socio-economic background, personality, self-confidence, intellective, that is possessing intelligence, decisiveness, judgment and knowledge, task-related and social characteristics of a leader. Next is leadership traits. Successful leaders definitely have interests, abilities and personality traits that are different from those of the less effective leaders. Though many researches conducted in the last 3 decades of the 20th century, a set of core traits of successful leaders have been identified. These traits are not responsible solely to identify whether a person will be a successful leader or not, but they are essentially seen as preconditions to endow people with leadership potential. Among the core traits identified are, the first one is the adaptability and flexibility. Effective leaders don't get stuck in a rut. They are able to think outside of the box and adapt quickly to changing situations. Next is assertiveness. A great leader is able to be direct and assertive without coming off the overly pushy or aggressive. Next is capacity to motivate people. A great leader knows how to inspire others and motivate them to do their best. Next is courage and resolution. The best leaders are brave and committed to the goals of the group. They do not hide from challenges. Next is the creativity. Perhaps most importantly, great leaders not only possess their own creativity, but they are also able to foster creativity among the members of the group. Next is the decisiveness. A great leader is capable of making decisions and is confident in his or her choices. Next is eagerness to accept responsibility. Strong leaders take on responsibility and don't pass the blame on to the others. They stand by their success and take ownership of their mistakes. Emotional stability. In addition to being dependable overall, strong leaders are able to control their emotions to avoid overreactions. Next is self-confidence. Many of the best leaders are extremely self-assured because they are confident in themselves. Followers often begin to share their self-belief. Next is task competence. A great leader is skilled and capable. Members of the group are able to look to the leader for an example of how things should be done. Trustworthiness. Group members need to be able to depend upon and trust the person leading them. Finally, understanding their followers and their needs. Effective leaders pay attention to group members and genuinely care about helping them succeed. They want each person in the group to succeed and play a role in moving the entire group forward. Next is strengths or advantages of trait theory. It is first one. It is naturally a pleasing theory. and it is valid as a lot of research has validated the foundation and basis of the theory. It serves as a yardstick against which the leadership traits of an individual can be assessed. It gives a detailed knowledge and understanding of the leader element in the leadership process. It can be applied by people at all levels in all types of organizations. The leadership traits which are mentioned in the previous slides are all feasible for any individual to inculcate those traits in them, and hence the leadership can be developed. And finally, more people can become leaders if they are able to follow all the necessary attributes of a good leader. Next is problems and limitations of trait approach to leadership. Be it any topic, it will be having pros and cons. Similarly, there are some problems and limitations in this topic also. They are as follows. All the traits are not identical with regard to essential characteristics of a leader. Some traits can be acquired by training and may not be inherited. The traits required to attain leadership may not be the same that are required to sustain the leadership. It fails to explain the many leadership failures in spite of the required traits. It ignores the environmental factors which may differ from situation to situation. Next is recent researches on the trait approaches to leadership. As the trait approach fell out of favor in industrial or organization psychology, researchers began to develop new situational approaches to leadership. They also began to focus their attention on the leader behavior, which led to the emergence of behavioral theory of leadership. Many modern researchers adopted a contingency approach to leadership, which posits that leaders who possess certain traits will be more effective in some situations than in others. Recently, however, there has been somewhat of a resurgence in research on the trait approach to leadership, especially with the emergence of 5-factor model of personality, which includes openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Finally, the recent research has also attempted to correct some of the methodological shortcomings of the earlier research on the leadership traits. Next is the conclusion. The traits approach to leadership give rise to questions whether leaders are born or made, whether leadership is an act or science. However, these are not mutually exclusive alternatives. Leadership may be something of an art. It still requires application of special skills and techniques. Even if there are certain inborn qualities that make one a good leader, these natural talents need encouragement and development. A person is not born with self-confidence. Self-confidence is something which will be developed in an individual over the time. Honesty and integrity are a matter of personal choice, and motivation to be so comes from within the individual. And finally, none of these ingredients are acquired overnight. It needs persistent dedication. Thank you.